Alright. Let's hope sometime soon. Hello. Today I'll be teaching you guys how to, well, make my Blue Eyes Shining Dragon deck. For Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. I'm just preparing to do that. Give me a minute. Organizing the cards and all. Make sure I have them all ready. Well, I've done this beforehand, but man, I feel the sooner I got this started, the better. Alright, that's it. Oh, wrong side. That's it. Okay. Yeah, switch the camera on first. Alright. So, for my Blue Eyes Shining deck, the main card is Blue Eyes Shining. It's a good card. I mean, its base attack is 3000. And the effect is, cannot be normal summon. You need Blue Eyes Ultimate to summon it. You increase the attack by, give me, did it work? No. By 300 for each dragon type monster in the graveyard. And I can negate spell traps and monster effects that designate it, so target it. So I'll set that aside for now. And the little, over there. So, for your extra deck, what I do first is Blue Eyes Ultimate, definitely, because you need to use it to summon it, and Five-Headed Dragon. Reason being, once you get Five-Headed Dragon on the field, you get you need 5 dragons, and you send them to the graveyard. Gives Blue Eyes Shining a boost. Alright, now for the monsters. Okay. So first up is level 4s, just because why not. First one, well, pretty much all dragons, so I'll start off with the main important ones. Give me a minute, find them. No. Oh, where'd it go? Definitely gonna keep that one. And, alright. There are main 4 cards that I use for Blue Eyes Shining. Well, for Blue Eyes Ultimate, then Blue Eyes Shining. The first 3 are 2 of these Blue Eyes White Dragons. You can use 3 if you want, but I don't have a 3rd one. So I use 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons and 1 Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. The reason I use Blue Eyes Alternative is I don't have a normal 3rd Blue Eyes. And if I reveal Blue Eyes in my hand, I can special summon this one. Pretty good, if you ask me. Yes, I know you do, Matthew. Problem is, you still lose with it. So, yeah. Next up is Keeper of the Shrine, just because it acts as 2 tributes for a dragon type monster. I usually use that to bring out a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Alright. Good choice. Now, as the title said, this is a 40 card deck. So I have the 4 main cards for Blue Eyes Ultimate to Blue Eyes Shining. Next, I'll show you a few other cards I added just in case I don't get them. First up is my Pendulum cards. A Scale 8 Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon. Now you can use any type of Pendulum monster, but I use these just why not. The dragon related. Ardice Mirage Dragon, scale 8. Ardice Pendulum Dragon, scale 4. And Ardice Phantom Dragon, scale 4. I usually, for the scales, I use these. Ardice Pendulum and Ardice Mirage. Because then I can Pendulum Summon, type of special summoning. Ardice Phantom, which its effect is very good for damaging people. It's another one of my ace cards. So that is that part. So that is okay. Now I'm just gonna show you the random dragons that I have in here. Starting off with Hunter Dragon. Let me see if I have any more of these in here first. Alright. So I added one Hunter Dragon. Oh, that's just to mute my phone real quick. Sorry about that. Phone forgot to mute it. Hunter Dragon for 1700 attack. It's always helpful to get a monster out. Then there's only one of those. 2 dragons dwelling in the cave. See? 1, 2. Just because defense is usually, I rely on defense a lot in games because I'm more of a, I try to be passive. I only attack if they attack me. Or if absolutely necessary. So that's 2000 defense, 2 of them. Next would be Luster Dragon. 1900 attack. Always good to have attack as well, just in case. You never know. In Yu-Gi-Oh! It's better to have attack and defense usually, but I'm more of a defensive type person. I rely on tricks and trickery. I rely on poker faces and trickery to do all that. Next up is Reactin. 1800 attack, and for defense again, Stream. 2000 defense. And while I'm doing this, Matthew, I know you're watching. While I'm doing this, don't make the deck yet. I'll help you, remember, I'll help you make one on your own over the phone, okay? Okay. Next up would be just going through level 4s and stuff first. Divine Dragon Apocalypse. It's not the best card in the rod at all, but overall, it will add a dragon to my hand by discarding. That's pretty good, but I've stopped using that effect. What I use it for is FHD, 5-headed dragon for short, for longer name. The next one, Heliosphere Dragon. Because if your opponent has 4 or less, meaning they'd have to have 5 cards, they can't declare an attack. Oh, if this is the only monster I control. Okay, never mind. I forgot I had to have this monster on the field only. Okay, never mind. Well, it's still a good card to have. I just forgot about that part of the effect. Whoops. Well, good to know. Alright. Next up is the level 5 Interplanetary Properly Thorny Dragon. I think that's level 5. Yes. A dark attribute monster. And it can be special summoned when a monster I control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard by battle or by card effect. I can special summon it. Always good to have. Next up, that's level 6. That's level 6, okay. Next up is Kaiser Glider. It's a light attribute level 6 monster, 2400 attack, 2200 defense. It cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster with the same attack as it. That includes if it's in defense mode. I think. Yes. So let's say I had this in defense mode and someone tried to attack it with a 2400 attack monster. My monster would not be destroyed, even though it had less defense than the monster had attack. Next up is Aether, the Empowering Dragon. When it is pendulum summoned, I can target one card on the field and return it to the hand. That is good for, like, let's say if someone's using a really strong monster that they had to tribute summon. I can send it back to the hand and they'd have to tribute summon it all over again. The last thing I have is Deep Eyes White Dragon. This isn't the best card. I usually use it for discarding purposes. But if a face-up Blue Eyes is destroyed by battle, including Blue Eyes Alternative, or an opponent's card effect, I can special summon it, this card, Deep Eyes, inflict 600 damage to my opponent for each dragon-type monster with different names in my graveyard. So if I had 5 different dragons with different names in the graveyard, it would be 6, 12, 18, 24, 36 damage to my opponent. And then, when it is normal or special summoned, I can target one dragon-type monster in graveyard. Its attack becomes Deep Eyes' attack becomes that dragon's attack. And then if it's destroyed by a card effect, destroy all monsters my opponent controls, face up, face down. Oh great, forgot about them people. Sorry about the noise in the background, that's people mowing the lawn and stuff. So that's it for monsters. Next up, I'll go with spells. Just cause. Now, let's see. First one is going to be just a card I put in here for, like, if someone's using Slifer, which gains attack equal to the number of cards they have times 1,000. Finite cards. That is a perfect way to make sure that your opponent does not get over 3 cards because, well, the size limit in your hand is 3 for both players. So that's the first spell. Next is, let's see here, give me a minute. You decide which one I want to showcase next. Let's go with Boss Stream of Destruction. If I control Blue Eyes White Dragon, including Blue Eyes Alternative because its name becomes Blue Eyes White Dragon, destroy all monsters my opponent controls. Smart if I do say so myself to have in this deck. Let's see, what else do I use? Oh, the reason I have Deep Eyes is for trade-in. Just call Level 8 Monster, which Deep Eyes is, and draw 2 cards. So it's always a good way to get drawing power. Next up, Shard of Greed, just because more drawing power. This deck relies on drawing as well, or luck. Well, yeah. Alright, next up, 1 Polymerization. Only 1, even though I have 2 fusion monsters. There's a reason why I have 1 and not 2. And it's not because I don't have 2, it's a different reason altogether. Which I shall show you guys in the traps later. What next I will use is Dragon Shine. Send 1 dragon type monster from your deck to a graveyard. Then if it was a normal monster, which means no effect, I can send another dragon to the graveyard. For Blue Eyes Shining, it's a good card. Next up, I have 1 Foolish Burial. I can send 1 monster from my deck to graveyard. Since all my monsters are dragons, it helps Blue Eyes Shining even more. Next up, for dragon-related stuff, Stamping Destruction. If I control a dragon monster, target 1 spell trap card on the field and destroy it, and if I do, target 500 damage, inflict 500 points of damage to its controller. Doesn't matter if it's a spell or a trap, obviously. Doesn't matter if it's face up or face down. All it needs to be is on the field and the spell trap. Next up, the quick play spell, Super Rejuvenation. I use this for drawing power as well. Like if I discarded a bunch of cards from my deck. No, if I discarded from my hand or tributed this turn, I could draw cards equal to the amount I discarded and or tributed. So if I use two monsters to tribute, I draw 2 cards, and if this is face down the field and I used card destruction, if I had a few more monster dragons in my hand, I would draw however many that was. Smashing Ground. Last spell so far. Last spell I'm going to show you guys in this deck, because what's the last spell in the deck? Destroy the one face-up monster my opponent controls that has the highest defense. If it's tied, you get to choose. Now, it doesn't matter if they're in defense mode or not, as Matthew knows already, because I've done that with him a few times, and kept slaughtering him repeatedly. Sorry, Matthew, but you have to hear it. Okay, no, I'm not sorry. Really, I'm not. Alright, so reason I only had one polymerization was because of this. Hidden Book of Spell. I can activate this card on my turn, only on my turn. Select 2 cards, spell cards from my graveyard and add them to my deck. Then shuffle it. Always good to have. Because especially if you really want to grab another card in here. I love these cards like that. Next thing would be something along the lines of Black Horn of Heaven. When an opponent would special summon exactly one monster, which is usually what happens, negate the special summon and destroy the monster. Since people usually can't special summon more than one monster at a time, except for pendulum summoning, which, meh. That's what I would use it for. That's why it's in here. Another one is you've seen some of these during my last showcase, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna repeat them anyway. Draining Shield. You've seen this guys last time during the live stream yesterday. Blah blah blah. When an opponent monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack. And gain life points equal to the target's attack. Matthew should use, if he was, sorry Matthew, no offense, but if you were smart enough, and had one in the deck, and I attacked with this guy, 5-head dragon, you gain his life points. Not trying to be rude, but you need to hear it, okay? I'm just gonna be honest with you. You needed to hear that. And there was no nice way of playing it. Sorry, but not really. Now the next card, Mirror Force. Anyone who knows Yu-Gi-Oh should know this card. When an opponent attacks, but you have never used it, Matthew. Let me ask you something. How many cards is in your deck? To destroy all attack positions, blah. Next thing I had is Sacred Armor. Good for destroying a monster again. In case you ever used Mirror Force, which I only have one of those in here. Well, no wonder. Oh boy. This is a 40 card deck, Matthew. You'll need to narrow that down a lot in order to beat me. That's why I narrow my cards down to at least 60. I mean, at most I do 60. Sometimes if I need more space, I'll really do the whole deck. Sometimes. Now, another card I use is Trap Hole. Good for if they normal flip summon. I've shown you that card yesterday. I don't remember if I showed you Magic Jammer, but yes I did, because I was in the Exodia deck. But it's pretty good again. See? My spell card activated, discard. It's always good to have that. Now, I did remove 2 Seven Tools Bandit before I did this, because it got over 40 cards. I wanted to make this as fair of a deck as possible, without removing any of my best monsters. So one Seven Tools Bandit, Trap card. When a trap card is activated, pay 1,000 life points, negate the activation, and destroy. That one I think I also showed you in the showcase last time. You meant? That's insane. What's this? Live chat. There. Okay. Now the last two traps, and I'll go over this again for whoever just joined if they want me to. I don't know who joined, so hello whoever you are. Doesn't really show me that for some reason, wish it did. Let me see if I can get to do that. Nope, okay, it won't show me who just joined. Great. Oh well. Another thing is Dust Tornado. Good for destroying a spell trap, and if you have another trap, you get to set it face down when you activate this. If you have the space, which you would, because you activated one. The last trap in the whole deck in the last card period, just because I added it for desperate measures. Destruct Potion. I use this on a rare occasion because it's always good to have life points. And if I used it on 5-Head Dragon, if I select 5-Head Dragon, I would destroy it and gain life points equal to its attack. So I would gain a life point boost of 5,000. So yeah, that's the Blue Eyes deck. That's always a good deck to have. Anyway, I'm gonna do a quick shuffle of it, and I'll be talking to you while I do that. Take a minute, switch the deck around. Okay, just to give you guys an example hand, I'm gonna shuffle all of this together in a minute. It's 10 traps, 10 spells, 20 monsters, 2 extra deck cards, etc. So you put these there, like so, 1, 2. Yeah, these 2 near the top, somewhere, and then I'm going to shuffle all of this together in a minute. Okay. And I'm also going to shuffle this by itself with just the traps, then I'm going to shuffle it together with the spells, and etc. Now, keep going. Just to give you an example hand, you never know what might happen. There are tools like online that will help you make a deck even better. One of which will give you the probability of getting a certain amount of cards. I'll send you, Matthew, I'll send you the link to that video that I found earlier. Because I know you'd probably need that. To see the probability of what card, like, if you wanted 3 blue eyes and, well, let's see, let's say you're going second, you would put 6, you would draw 6 cards, and let's say you had 3 copies of blue eyes, for this deck especially, and you wanted to see the probability of getting one of those in your hand from a 40 card deck. It would tell you the probability. I haven't used it yet personally because, well, I've been trying to get stuff set up from the move to Ohio, and now while I am in Ohio now, it's been a really irritating few weeks. Because I also was cleaning up my room earlier today, and I still have some work to do. But, well, it is what it is. So now I'm going to shuffle these together. And man, Ohio's hot. I mean, it's October, right? What the... Mother Nature, get your butt in gear. It's October, it's not summer. Am I right or am I right? Shuffling, keep shuffling. Do that, and shuffle some more. Okay. Oh. Stick that back for a minute. This is what I called. And one more shuffle. Now I'll draw 5. Okay, thank you, Fifth. Thank you, Foxy. That's what I'm gonna call you when you say that, lad. Now I'm just gonna do this as a 5-card draw first because I'm gonna say I go first this time. Let's see what I drew. I drew 1 reactant, 1 Deep Eyes, 1 Draining Shield, a Shard of Greed, and a Trade-In. Now, the first thing I would do since I would first is Trade-In, discarding Deep Eyes, to draw another 2 cards. Let's see what I draw. 1 Stream, and 1 Divine Dragon Apocalypse. Okay. Granted, I suck at shuffling, so that could be part of it. And those 2 on the graveyard, these are in my hand. 1, 2, so now I have 5 cards in my hand still. I would set the Draining Shield face down, Spell Trap Card Zone, and activate Shard of Greed. And because it's me we're talking about, and I like to trick people, I would put Stream face down in defense mode. Let's say my opponent goes and draws something of 1800 attack. He attacks with it. He takes 200 damage because Stream is in defense mode. My turn. I draw. Okay, I would then... Let me think here. Because I want to wait, I would just end my turn by doing nothing. Make them think I have nothing good in my hand, even though I drew an Aether. And still have Reaction and Divine Dragon Apocalypse. I decide to end for whatever reason. They don't do anything because they know I have Stream. I draw. Now I drew Interplanetary Interplanetary Properly Thorny Dragon. I probably pronounced that wrong, but you get the point. Eventually I'm going to close that window, it's getting noisy. Now, they tribute summon for... I'm going to say they're using a Dark Magician deck. They tribute Dark Magician Girl. They summon Dark Magician Girl by tributing. They attack Stream. It dies. And I get to special summon Interplanetary Properly Thorny Dragon. I special summon him in attack mode. Now it's my turn. I draw. And I got Ardai's Mirage Dragon. But Shard of Greed now has 2 counters. I will get rid of it to draw another 2 cards. Ardai's Pendulum was the first card, and Black Point of Heaven. These are the cards I drew. Ardai's Pendulum, Black Point of Heaven. Now, what would I do next? Alright. First, I'd set the Black Horn of Heaven face down in my Spawn Trap Card Zone, and Pendulum scale 4 and 8 Ardai's Mirage and Ardai's Phantom. Put them in my Pendulum scales for now, and then I'd Pendulum summon Aether for its effect. Now I send their Dark Magician Girl back to their hand, which seals up their monster field. I would attack with Interplanetary Properly Thorny for 2200. Then Aether for another 2300. That would be 4500 damage lost. And since they started out with 8000, with that I would end. They draw, they set a monster on defense mode. Now, I draw. Okay. So, I drew a Blue Eyes White Dragon. I can't Pendulum summon it because it's a level 8, not a level 7. And you can't do level 8 with the 4 or the 8. So, let's see, I wouldn't Pendulum summon it. I wouldn't summon it yet. Instead, I would summon React and normal summon. Now, let's say the face down is Big Shield Gardener. No, I don't know that. So I'd attack it with Aether first. I take 300 points damage because it's 2600 defense. But, it goes to attack position, and if I remember correctly, it has 100 attack or so. So then I would attack it with Reactant. They would take 1700 damage, and then okay, good. Which means they have lost. Let's see, 45, 50. So I've now lost a total of 6,200. Now, I would end the game by attacking again directly with Interplanetary Property Thorny Dragon. But they have a card. They have a Draining Shield as well, and they used it. So instead, they gained 2,200 life points. So with that, I would end by doing nothing else, because the rest of my hand is monsters, and I already normal summoned. They go. They still have no monsters, so they set a card in their spell and trap card zone and end. I would draw. I drew another Blue Eyes White Dragon. So I would tribute my Reactant and my Interplanetary Property Thorny Dragon for one of my two Blue Eyes. Now, let's say I'm worried about their face down that they just set in the spell and trap card zone. I end. They go, they somehow still have no monsters. At this point I'm questioning how in God's name they made their deck so terribly. So they end. I draw. I drew Hidden Book of Spell. I would set this card in my spell and trap card zone for now and end, waiting for something in particular. They go, now they draw a monster and they set it face down. In defense mode, I would draw, and I drew Luster Dragon. I summoned the Luster Dragon, and I'm not as nervous about the face down now because they haven't used it yet. So I attack with Luster Dragon. It turns out that that card was nothing what I thought it would be. So instead they used it as a, off the top of my head, let's say Sacred Armor. My Luster Dragon is dead. But I have two more monsters. Blue Eyes White Dragon and Aether. So I attack with Aether. The monster's dead. Now I want to spare him just to be nice. So I end. He goes, has no monsters again. I'm like, man, how did you break this deck so terribly? Still. So he ends and I draw. I draw Merophos. Now, in this case, I would end. I would not end. Instead, I would use. No, I would. Okay, can't do it. Forgot. Okay, let me think here. I would do nothing just to give them another chance of mossing. And because I don't want them to lose this fast. They go, they do nothing, I draw. I do finite cards. Unfortunately, they don't have a Slifer. Which sucks for me. I have 4 cards in my hand. What would I do? Nothing on the field that would help me draw. So I'd end. They go, still nothing. Oi. I would draw. Dust Tornado, okay. Now I could end the game right here. So I would set that card face down. Dust Tornado. And I would, you know what, I'd attack with Aether and end the game there after attacking with Blue Eyes. They lost, and my hand was this. Let's see what I would have drawn in the next 5 turns, sorry. Super Rejuvenation. Sacred Armor. Trap Hole, that's 3 out of 5. Blue Eyes Alternative, which would have been nice anytime soon, and Eyes Phantom. Those two would have been nice all but you get the point. I would not have gotten a polymerization until 5, 6, 7, 8. Until 8 turns, and I would have gotten Blue Eyes Shining the turn before. That completely sucks, but that's luck for you. My face down is Dust Tornado, Handbook of Spell, Draining Shield, and Black Horn of Heaven. You get the point. Hope you guys enjoyed and have a nice rest of the day. See you all next time.